Has anybody seen The Last Angry Geek? Anybody? Anybody at all? Anybody? Anybody seen The Last Angry Geek? How about you? You seen The Last Angry Geek? Come on. Listen, alright, well listen, find The Last Angry Geek. I need you to tell them to come to my room. I'm the Cinema Slob, room 559, okay?
Gotcha.
Thank you very much.
It's me. It's me.
You the Last Angry Geek?
Of course.
All right, we gotta go to the Cinema Snob's room in 559.
Cinema. He's here?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
keep going.
Finally!
Brad, what happened to you? You've gained 150 pounds and grown 2 feet. Or am I shrinking?
Brad, what? No, I'm Zach. I'm the Cinema Slob. Not snob, slob.
Who?
Never mind. Listen, this blue ring, it found me. I don't know what's going on. I thought you might know.
Oh, that. That's a Blue Lantern power ring. It means you're a symbol of hope. What kind of movies do you review?
I review movies that people think are bad or shitty, and I show them that they're not as god-awful as they seem to be.
Wait a minute. That must mean...
Hello and welcome to the Cinema Slob. Today, I'm taking a look... Sorry, force of habit. Today, we're looking at 2011's Green Lantern. Happy now?
I've never been happy. You know, the next time a strange man invites me up to his hotel room through a third party, I just might not go.
The movie opens with a bit of exposition detailing the history of the Green Lantern Corps.
A ring powered by the energy of will was sent to every sector to select a recruit. In order to be chosen by the ring, it was said one must be without fear.
So far, so good, right?
Oh, just wait. It'll get worse. Some aliens crash on a planet and find the entity Parallax trapped in a green crystal. They are afraid, and as a result of their fear, Parallax awakens and harvests their life force to grow more powerful and break out of the crystal prison.
6 months later, Parallax attacks Eben Sur, fatally wounding him and causing the Green Lantern to retreat to Earth. We cut to Hal Jordan, ace test pilot for Ferris Aircraft, who is about to undergo a very important combat simulation.
Hal, this test today, it's important.
I got it. I'm gonna make you look good up there, don't worry, okay? Now let's get these pants off and fly some planes.
To borrow a phrase from one of my contemporaries, our hero, ladies and gentlemen.
That reminds me, why didn't you call Linkara to do this?
Well, I wanted someone who knew more about the Green Lantern mythos and who knew more about, you know, the tech behind it all.
He didn't return your phone calls, did he?
Not a single one.
Hal goes to his nephew's birthday, where he tells the young boy about the power of will over fear.
Are you scared?
It's my job not to be.
On his way home, Hal is taken away by a big ball of green light which takes him to the crashed escape pod of Eben Sur.
And so, Eben Sur passes on the ring to Hal Jordan before dying. Hal calls his friend Tom to come get him, and the two quickly leave the scene before the government comes to collect the ship and Eben Sur's body. Hey, that's pretty accurate, right?
Well, not really. In the comic book, Hal's in a training module and gets taken to Eben Sur in the desert right as he's dying, and then goes to Oa immediately. Where in the movie, he doesn't go to Oa until the next night and only after he's made his first power construct.
Wow, you really know your comics. In fact, I'd say you have comic book issues.
You're an idiot. So the government recruits Dr. Hector Hammond to perform an autopsy on Eben Sur. While doing his examination, part of Parallax's yellow energy shoots into him. Meanwhile, on Oa, Hal trains with fan-favorite characters Tomar Ray, Kilowog, and Sinestro. However, he finds the training too difficult, and he quits, heading back to Earth. Sinestro leads a group of Lanterns to fight Parallax, only to realize that the creature is much more powerful than they can handle. So he tells the Guardians to fashion a yellow ring in order to fight fear with fear. Well, that makes sense. After all, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Yeah, it's very poignant. I think FDR was really onto something with that. FDR? No, I meant Fear Itself, the Marvel crossover. It was just terrible. That we should be afraid of. The next night at a gala celebrating Ferris Aircraft's new contract for supplying government drones, Hector has a spaz attack and tries to kill his daddy. You know, that seems like a really roundabout way to kill someone. Oh great, you make bad puns too? They're not bad, they're just misunderstood. No, they're bad. Hal slips into his glowing green footy pajamas and saves the day.
Hector escapes to his apartment and starts to mutate thanks to the parallax energy.
The next day, Hal reveals his powers to Tom.
Wow. You know, it takes real balls for a man to try and rip off Richard Ayoade's look from the IT crowd.
Hal goes to Carol that night and inadvertently reveals his identity to her.
Evening, ma'am.
Deep voice courtesy of Mr. Wayne of Gotham.
Hal? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, Hal!
How did you know it was me?
What do you mean? I've known you my whole life. I've seen you naked. You don't think I would recognize you because I can't see your cheekbones?
And kudos to the filmmakers on this one. I mean, no one's going to be fooled by a thin little domino mask.
Well, they have been known to occasionally fool people.
Who the hell are you? Where's the Last Angry Geek?
Well, thank you. This has been really...
I know, I made a lot of mistakes.
Look, Hal, I'm not mad at you. I feel bad for you, really. You've been given so much, so often.
And yet you can't get a hit superhero film to save your life.
Well, hey, his ex-wife was in the biggest superhero movie of all time.
That ain't helping.
Elsewhere, Hector does some blood work to try and figure out why he's mutating.
Oh my lord, his blood cells are turning into Cheetos.
Hey, he was my favorite Thundercat.
Oy. Hector gets taken back to the secret lab where it's revealed that his father, Senator Hammond, is the one funding it. Hector goes berserk and Hal shows up to try and stop him.
Wait, so the green ring produces yellow flame. Why do they need a yellow ring then?
Well, obviously they need a yellow ring to produce green flame.
Why?
Shut up, that's why.
In the scuffle, Senator Hammond is killed, and Hal alerts Parallax to his presence, causing the giant monster to head for Earth.
Hal manages to defeat Hector, and he flies to Oa, where he pleads with the Guardians for some help to save Earth.
Don't give in to fear. Fight it. Fight it with me.
Your words are compelling, young human. But as immortals, we must measure our actions over billions of years and the fate of the universe. We simply cannot risk losing everything on the chance you might be right.
Then don't risk any more lives. Just mine.
So he left Earth to ask permission to go to Earth.
Makes sense to me.
Did I have an aneurysm or something?
Finding no help, he returns to Earth, only to find that Hector has kidnapped Carol.
And if I can't be like you, I'm gonna make her like me. And let's face it, once she's like me, and you wouldn't be very interested. Now would you?
Why can't you? Why can't you be like me?
Well, I'm no expert, but I think it has something to do with that giant dodgeball growing out of his forehead.
Dodgeball, really?
Well, it's not a tumor.
Walked right into that one.
Parallax shows up and consumes Hector for failing to kill Hal. Hal leads the creature away from the city by making use of his ring.
Okay, I have to admit, despite this movie's flaws, and there are many, the use of constructs is very in line with what Hal would do in the comic books.
I thought he only made, like, boxing gloves and giant fists.
Well, that is such a negative stereotype. In the comics, Hal is actually able to create very detailed, very complex constructs with his power ring.
Bet you $5 he makes another fist before the movie's over.
You're on.
Hal flies off into space where he leads Parallax into the gravitational pull of a star. However, just as it looks like Parallax is about to break free, Hal plays his trump card.
Ha! Okay, but dogs can look up.
The movie ends with a hero's welcome for Hal back on Oa, as he's finally accepted as a full member of the Green Lantern Corps. And that, my friends, is Green Lantern. So why did everyone hate this movie? Honestly, I chalk it up to the mainstream audience not really knowing who Green Lantern is. In fact, he often gets confused with another green-clad hero, Green Hornet.
No. The reason this movie failed was an overinflated budget that went to crappy CGI that made the film look too cheesy or too sci-fi for a mainstream audience. And on top of that, the butchering of comic canon by combining Parallax with another Green Lantern villain, Krona the Mad Guardian, and you've got a film that tried to appeal to both the mainstream and the comic book audiences, but just ended up being offensive to both parties.
Well, I loved it.
You would, Slob.
Hey, if liking entertaining, effects-driven action-adventure comedies is slobbish, then I'm the slobbiest slob to ever slob.
You'll get no argument from me.
Jerk.
Flebian.
See you next time I do a comic book movie?
Sure.
See you later, internets.